Okay. Yeah. Okay. So gonna start with a tabletop position. So let's start with our cat and cow, just to warm up the breath. Inhale, lifting up your chin, and exhale, gaze toward your knees. Inhale for cow. Exhale, angry cat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Finding that wave on your spine as you move your spine a little more flowy. Last one. Let's stay here in your angry cat. Gaze toward your toes a little bit more and sucking in your belly a little bit more. Stay here for 3, 2, 1. Gonna lift up the chin for the cow pose. Feel some freedom around your hips. Feel that nice elongating through the spine. Okay, we're gonna come to the angry cat and stay here for a few deep breaths. Feel like your arms are hugging into your heart. You're rounding your back a bit to lift off the pressure on your spine. Sucking the belly in toward the sky. One more deep breath here. Now lift up the chin. Lift up the tailbone. Feel the elongating through the spine. From the chin to the tailbone. One more deep breath here. And slowly gonna center ourselves. Just sway the hips side to side. Feel the wrist, feel the hips. Gonna center ourselves. Gonna step the right foot outside of the mat. So as you wiggle the right foot outside the mat a little bit more, gonna feel that extension on that right leg. From the right heel up to that right sit bone. Take one more deep breath here. Feel the stretching on the right side. Lift up the left arm and slowly threading down toward the right heel. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, threading. Inhale. Exhale, 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Center yourself. Bring the knee and the hand back. And let's step the left foot out. The left foot is away from the right knee as far as you can. Wiggle it out a little bit more. Take a deep breath here. Inhale, lift the right arm. And exhale, spreading toward the left heel. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to lift. And exhale, stretching over. Last 2. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Relax the right hand. Relax the left knee back. And just sway the hips side to side. Feel the strength on the wrist. We're going to center ourselves. We're going to curl the toes under and lift up the hips, downward facing. Try to gaze toward your heels as much as you can, or lift up your gaze toward your belly button to lift up the hips a little bit more. So one more deep breath here. We're going to do some knees movement. I'm going to point the right knee toward the mat and going to slowly switch. Pointing the left knee toward the mat and switch. So when you bend one knee, make sure the other leg is straight. So you want to stretch out the leg that's not bent. One more on each side. Take it as slow as you can. Feel the stretching on the straightened leg. And slowly centering yourself. Heels are down. Inhale, gonna lift up that right leg toward the ceiling. And exhale, gonna step the right foot forward between your hands. And from here, the inhale, arms lifted toward the ceiling. And exhale, gonna come to eagle arms. Doesn't matter which side of the elbow is on top. As long as you feel that inner shoulders tightening toward each other. And slowly come to this humble warrior, pointing your fingertips down. One more deep breath here. And slowly gonna lift up. Secure that right foot. It's okay if you wobble. I'm gonna use that fingertips to make circles. So really require you to secure that right leg as much as you can when you do your circling. I'm slowly gonna circle the opposite direction, whichever is your opposite direction. One more circling. And slowly centering yourself. Lower down the hands toward the floor. Big step, bring the right foot back into your high plank. And slowly you can either chaturanga down with the knees tapping onto the floor or without the knees on the floor. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adjust the distance of your feet and your hands. Try to lift up the tailbone a little bit higher. Take one more deep breath here in your downward facing stretch. Inhale, left leg lifted high. Exhale, gaze forward. Place your hands between your feet. Inhale, arms lifted toward the ceiling. Exhale, gonna stack the elbows. That's a little bit different from the previous stacking of the elbows. And slowly point your fingertips toward the floor. Both elbows are on the inside of your left knee. Feel the wobbly or the security of that left foot. The intention is to anchor that left foot onto the mat as strong as you can. Now slowly lift up. I'm gonna circle. The size of the circling is up to the mobility of your shoulders and your upper body. As long as you're moving in that circular motion. And slowly let's reverse the circling. It's okay if your left leg is wobbly. Last circling. And slowly centering yourself, gonna relax the hands down onto the mat. Big step, bring the left foot back, high plank. Can either lower down the knees for your chaturanga or keep the knees high. Inhale, upward facing and tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 2 full rounds of deep breath here to stretch out the back of the legs and the spine. And slowly gonna bend the knees. Gonna just tippy toes forward, one step at a time. Inhale, hands halfway up onto your shin bone. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, gonna circle up. Rise up, fingertips to touch. Gonna give ourselves a back bend. Strengthening the spine here. And slowly circle forward. Inhale, hands halfway up onto your knees. Exhale, forward fold. Gonna do 2 more. Inhale, root to rise. Bring your hands to touch. That's back bend. Really strong back here. And slowly hinge forward. Circle your fingertips down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Last one. Inhale, circle up. Fingertips touching and back bend here. And slowly hinge forward, circling down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Relax your fingertips onto the mat here. I'm gonna step the right foot back, all the way back. I'm gonna wiggle the left foot out as wide as you can. Wiggle out a little bit more. Once you reach your maximum, gonna straighten out the front leg. Gazing back or close your eyes. Try to straighten out both legs as much as you can. 2 deep breaths here. And slowly gonna bend into that left knee. Gonna place the left hand on top of that left knee and gaze up toward the ceiling. 2 deep breaths here. And slowly gaze down. Bring the left hand down. Gonna wiggle that left foot all the way to the right wrist. As close to the right wrist as you can. I'm gonna cross it past the right wrist and cross it over to the right side of your mat. Take 2 deep breaths here. Very nice. And slowly going to wiggle that left foot. Come to bring the shin bone down. Left shin bone is down. Right knee is lowered to the mat. Take 2 deep breaths here. It's not sleeping pigeon, but it's lifted. With chest lifted, resting pigeon. 1 more deep breath here. We'll work on our strength of our wrist. Inhale, lifting up that left knee. And exhale, lower down that left knee. Very nice. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower down. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And from here, gonna drop the hips down. Gonna face ourselves to the other side of the mat. Yeah, that's good. Gonna lean forward and place your hands onto the mat. Gonna lift up the hips. 2 deep breaths here. Different ways of stretching our hip flexors and the legs. And slowly lower down the hips. And from here, gonna bring the hands heart center. Inhale, lifting up the hips. Very nice. Yeah, take a deep breath, bring yourself up, and exhale, lower down. Inhale. Exhale. It's okay if you use your hand, just like earlier, how we did the prep. That's okay as well. 2 more. Very nice. Last one. Nice. We're gonna bring our chest to bring ourselves back to that resting pigeon. I'm gonna tuck the back toes under. Inhale, lifting up the left leg. Exhale, lower down. Take 2 deep breaths here in your downward facing. Feel the difference of the left side and the right side. Becoming more aware of your mind and your body. Okay, gonna balance it out on the right side. Inhale, right leg lifted high. Exhale, bring the right. Sorry, gonna. Earlier we did the left leg. Okay, you know what? Yeah, and yes, it is the right side. But let's go with bending the knees. Gonna tippy toes forward. So there are different ways of getting your feet back. Gonna just do it synchronized. Okay, let's lift up the chest, halfway lift, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Just prepare your spine a bit, and exhale, slowly swan dive down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, lower down the fingertips. And from here, I'm gonna step the left foot back, all the way back. I'm gonna wiggle that right foot out. I guess that's why you remember the left back. Okay, wiggle it out as far as you can. I'm gonna lean your hips back. Try to keep the front foot on the mat or on the floor. Maybe it's not on the mat anymore, but just keep it on the floor. So you're stretching out the top of that right foot. One more deep breath here. And slowly gonna bend into that front knee. Let's place the right hand on top of that right knee. Gaze up toward the ceiling. Feel that nice gentle twist. Chest opening here. One more deep breath. And slowly gonna gaze down, right hand down. Gonna wiggle the right foot all the way to the left side, outside the mat, and just straighten out the front leg. Take 2 deep breaths here. Really help you to stretch out the posterior chain here. Now I'm gonna wiggle that right foot in a bit beside our left wrist. I'm gonna rest the right shin bone on the mat. Come to this rested pigeon pose. Take 2 deep breaths here. You can really feel that right side of the glutes being stretched. Now come to strengthening of the wrist and the shoulders. Inhale, lifting up that right knee. And exhale, lift, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. This is our moving pigeon. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. I'm going to twist the chest toward the side and bring the right shin bone in front of your hips. I'm going to prepare yourself first. Just lean forward. Rest for a second here first. Inhale, lifting up your hips, and exhale, lower down. One more as a prep. Inhale. Exhale. And from here, I'm going to bring the hands heart center. So we did the word 2 prep. Now, if you're able to, with the inhalation, lift up. If not, just use your hands to push yourself up, and that will have almost the same effect as well to strengthening the hips region, help you with stronger hip flexors and the legs. 2 more. Last one. Nice, centering yourself. I'm gonna twist the chest forward. Come back to that rested pigeon pose. And gonna tap the left toes under. Inhale, right leg lifted high. Exhale, lower down that right leg. Downward facing stretch here. Hike up the hips. Feel like the tailbone is lifted toward the ceiling a little bit more. One more deep breath here. And from here, I'm gonna gaze forward, bending of the knees. And slowly you can either one step at a time, bring the right foot forward and left foot forward, and then press back. You can either jump forward and then jump back. It's okay, you do alternate ways of having your feet forward and back. You can do one jump and then one step. So move at your own pace. Synchronize your movement with your breathing. So you won't be out of breath. So okay to alternate your jump and your stepping. Noticing your arms are hardly moving. It's a lot of legs movement here. Give yourself 2 more seconds here. And slowly lower down the knees. Come to a child pose. You can have your knees widened apart or together. You can have your chest lifted or lowered. Becoming more aware of your body's needs. Two more deep breaths here as a breather. And slowly come back to the tabletop position. How we started. Gonna curl the toes under, lifting up the hips, downward facing. And from here, bend the knees. Just come to the Malasana the way you like to come to your Malasana. Either step forward or jump forward. And I'm gonna bring the hands heart center. Relax the tailbone down. Try to lower down the heels. Yeah. So what you need is to separate the feet apart a little bit. That's all. That's it. You got it. Very nice. Yeah, very nice. 2 more deep breaths here. And slowly lower down your hands. Inhale, lifting up your hips, circling your arms up, gaze up. Exhale, bring your hands heart center. Gonna lower down the hips, bending the knees out. Lower down your fingertips. Inhale, lift. Circle it up. Exhale, heart center. Bending the knees out. So you feel that nice hip flexors opening. Lower down the hands. Inhale to lift. Circling up. Exhale, hands heart center. Hips lower down. We'll do 2 more. Hands lower down. Inhale, lift. Circling up. Exhale, hands heart center. Knees bending out. Hips are low. Last one. Hands down. Inhale, lifting. Circling up. Exhale, hands heart center. Lower down the hips. Kind of shifting the weight side to side. Try to have your heels a little bit open more. That will help. Yeah. So your heels height are not changing. You got to change the height of the heels. If that's not doable, you can even spread yourself a little bit wider and use your hands as support. It's okay if you're using your hands on the floor as support. Yeah, you want your heels one at a time to be lifted. You're training your brain to do this body weight shifting. The signal is connected with your legs and the feet. Last one. Nice, lower down. I'm gonna lift up the hips. Very nice. I'm gonna bring the heels in about hips distance apart. Just grab onto the opposite side of your elbows. Forehead closer to your forearms. And shift side to side. Or yes or no. Letting go of any tension that you're feeling. Two more deep breaths here to reset. And slowly lower down your fingertips. And step the feet back to your downward facing.